now be recorded.
Hello, I am Whitney, and welcome to Knackly's end user documentation. I'm going to walk through and show you how to use Knackly to enter information and produce documents. When you first open your Knackly screen, you'll see either an icon or your firm or organization's name up here in the upper left, and then you will have either one tab here or maybe several tabs here depending on your different practice areas or needs or how your Knackly is structured. So what you're going to do when you open up this your Knackly site is you're going to see this screen. There are three main portions of the screen that you want to kind of pay attention to, which is the first, you've got your create record up here. You've got your list of records over here on the left, and then on the right and in the middle you have this bigger detail screen about each record that you click on. So each record is a discrete gathering of information. In this particular case, I have them organized by client name. You may have them organized by your case number. You may have them organized by, whatever, usually it's client or party or case number, whatever you use to separate your different files and clients. When you first are starting a new client or a new record, you will go up over to create record here, and you will select one of the apps that are listed. In this case, I'm going to choose internal intake so I can show you what the data entry looks like. So when you first click on an app, it will come in blank with the basic information that you have for your particular cases. Knackly is what we call dynamic. So what information you see will change depending on the options that you enter and the selections that you make. So if you're not seeing information that you expect to see, you may need to make some selections or talk to your developers about what you expect to see and when. In this particular case, I have practice area, file number, and attorney on file. Now, file number and attorney on file, they don't affect what I see because they're always there. So I'm going to enter just a file number and I'm going to select the attorney. Practice area is going to bring up different questions depending on which practice area I choose. So I've got estate planning, family law, loan documents, and entity formation. I'm going to start with showing you estate planning. So you see when I select estate planning, it brings up different sections of the interview for me to see and interact with. So in Knackly, you have a few different options for entering information. You have some information that will be on the main screen, and you have some information that will either be in pop-ups or drop down onto the screen. And how you get into these sections, you'll see them with a little arrow by it and a gray box. You can click on the arrow to get in, or you can just click on the gray box. Either one works. So I'm going to click on the gray box, and it will bring up the information relevant to this particular, in this case, this particular person, the client. Knackly has a few different ways of entering information. We have drop downs, we have text, we have dates, and we have numbers. Are the basic types. So you see I've got the prefix, which is just a selection. You can't change anything there. These are just plain text entries. So I'm going to enter a first and last name. The suffix is a little different. I have that set up as a text variable where when you click into it, you'll see a drop down of options. And you can select from those, but because it's still a text, you can also, add, change, whatever differences you need to make there. Gender is just a plain drop down in this, a plain selection where you can select it, but you can't type in something that is not in the selections. For our dates, you can either type in the date, or you see this little calendar icon here. You can click on that to navigate to the date that you want. In my address section, and just got the plain addresses there. You can see that county and state are again drop downs, whereas everything else is typing in. You can see on the zip here, I have it formatted so that you can only enter in 5 numbers. So you may have some formatting like that on zips or on phone numbers or social security numbers or entity EINs are common to force it into a particular format. And you see, since I've entered everything I need to enter, or the documents that I believe that I need to enter on client, it has a little green check mark. I'm going to go into spouse and I'm going to enter her name. And you'll see I'm not going to enter her date of birth. And I'm going to click OK. And because my document requires the spouse's date of birth, you can see that it's got a yellow circle. So now that I've entered her date of birth, the circle is going to go green. There is some adjustment there depending on your documents and how complex they are about how those green circles work. So that may be something you want to talk more about with your developer if they're not functioning the way that you expect. I've got children, other parties. We won't go into those. These are all the same information basically as you see on client and spouse. So again, where Knackly is dynamic, you're not seeing any other questions here because we haven't selected which documents we want to produce. So if I select the will information will come up. Again, the date has the calendar option. And then you'll see in this dropdown, I've actually got this as a dropdown of the people that were entered above. And if I uncheck will, that's going to go away because it's no longer relevant to what I'm creating. In entering numbers in Knackly, anything that is going to be something you want to add, subtract, do any mathematical functions with will be a number, and you can just type the numbers in. Depending on how your number variable is set up, you may be able to enter decimals or you may not. If you're not being able to enter decimals when you think you should be, again, that's something you want to talk to your developer or IT person about to get that changed. One other thing we have in Knackly is being able to upload files, which is either if you want to upload your file to Knackly to keep it all together, or if you send an interview to a client and have them upload their bank statements or their pay stubs or whatever other information that you want documentation of from them. And how those work is you can just browse to, right here I've got these examples that will upload each document. And then I'll show you where those will come out in Knackly. And so we've entered our estate planning information, but if you select entity formation, then you see that different information is going to pop up. I still have client because I still have a client in this entity formation, but now I have the entity name and entity type showing up instead because that's what's relevant to entity formation as opposed to what is relevant for estate planning. Now, Knackly it saves as you go along. You don't have to worry about saving. If I accidentally click on another tab or I click on documents, you see the information is there even though I didn't click anything else. So when you go back into an existing file, you're going to go over here to review or update and click on that. And it will bring you right back to where you were in the interview with all the information you have there. At the bottom of the screen, you have an option to finish later if you're not looking to produce documents and you just kind of want to get out of the interview and go somewhere else. Or if you want to create documents, you have Create Docs. So if I select Create Docs, you see under here, under the app name is the 2 documents that I have this set up to create, which is a TOCX and a PDF. If you want to download them both at the same time, If you just do download all, it will download them as a zip. If there's only one document, it'll just say download, and it will only download it as whatever type of document it is. It won't zip it because there's only one document. There's no point in making a zip folder for that. Alternatively, if you just want to download individual documents, you can just click on the document name, and those will download to wherever your browser has it set up to receive downloads. And you can click on them and open them. And once you open a document, it's just a normal Word document. It's just a normal PDF document. You can interact with it however you need to. And the PDFs will show, you can see the PDF, it brought in the entity name and the client name, and it will bring in all the relevant information that you need. So those are the basic functions of how to enter information in Knackly, how to go into records. You can see over on the right here, you've got some information on when it was last modified, other little things that we can put in. You may have a big screen of information here. You may just have the client name. It depends on how your information is set up. So those are the basics of using Knackly. Please let us know if you have questions or if you have anything else that you would like this video to include. Thank you.